Excuse me. Darrell Jazz Johnson, Gospel Herald, CitySportsReport.com. I'm here with a man who has many titles, but Mr. Brandon Tierney from St. John's for today. Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Big game here, and we'll get into why it's a big game, but it's a big game for St. John's. The third top 5 team that they're playing, they played number 3 Gonzaga. Yep. They played number 4 Villanova. Now they're playing number 5 Duke. How big of a win would this be for St. John's if they're able to pull off the upset?
It will be a good one for the resume. I think even Syracuse. I know Syracuse lost yesterday, but Syracuse to win there for the first time since '99. I think certainly RPI, strength of schedule, all the things that they'll measure in the committee when they get in the room in March. I think that's certainly big. But I think just perceptually as well, because St. John's, a couple of weeks ago, they were 15th in the country. And the city, with the Knicks down and the Nets down, the city was really starting to latch on to St. John's. And then they hit the skids a bit, and they lost a few unexpected games in conference. So I think if they win today, I think it would galvanize the fans again and get them back in their corner. It's a big one. It's a big one.
What are some of the struggles that St. John's had since they were ranked 15, and do you think they can recover from those?
Well, I think part of their, it's a tough one because I think what plagues them, I don't think that's going to go away night to night. They're not very deep, all right, and they're not very big. So those are things that Steve's got to manipulate, and there's only so many ways to do it with a short rotation. Listen, it's all about Harrison. If Harrison's putting in shots, it allows them to set up the defense, and really when they get their defense set up, that's when you start seeing their great athletes, and they are great. Pointer, guys streaking up and down the court. Obekba, obviously a very good defensive presence. So I think St. John's is a little flawed offensively, no question, but it's a senior-laden group. They like each other. I know that seems like a pretty basic statement, but they really do care about each other, and they know this is it. I mean, if you don't go to the NCAA tournament as a senior, you're not going. So it's a team that's I probably know their strengths and weaknesses too much, so maybe I'm in a way maybe I'm almost the wrong guy to ask. But this is an intriguing team. Really, even removing myself from the broadcast booth, it's a pretty good team. I like them.
So let's take a look at the team that's warming up behind us, the Duke Blue Devils. There's a guy named Mike Krzyzewski who has 999 wins. It would be his 1,000th win today. What has he meant not only to Duke University but to college basketball?
Classy. It's changed a lot since we were kids. Kids don't hang around 3-4 years anymore. The days of rivalries. I mean, talking about St. John's, in the mid-'80s, you had Mullen for 4 years, Ewing for 4 years, Berry stayed around a long time, Mark Jabb. I mean, we could do an hour on the old Big East and the players, how they stayed around. It's more of a business. Unfortunately, it is. I mean, it was always a business, but they don't try to hide it anymore. It's about it's not always about basketball, and for somehow Coach K's been able to keep it that way and continue to emphasize what's truly important for those who don't make the NBA: the books, family, morals, ethics. He's one of a kind. He's on Mount Rushmore. He's the best.
Jahlil Okafor, arguably the best player in college basketball. There's a lot of Knicks fans out there who actually might be here today. We might see Phil Jackson scouting this kid.
All right.
At least
he's doing something. Just kidding, Phil.
What have you seen about Jahlil Okafor that would make him potentially a great pro, especially in a New York Knicks uniform?
He's very astute with angles. You hear in the Tim Duncan comparison a lot. He's very, very intelligent. Uses the pump fake. What he's going to have to work on, he's not a real fierce rim protector. So, the Knicks fans or any other, fans out there who think that Okafor is going to come in and be a Ewing in the mid-'80s or an Olajuwon, even an Anthony Davis now, he doesn't have that skill set yet. Not that he can't develop it. And I think the other thing he struggles with is pick-and-roll defense. And the NBA is, as you know, so much about pick-and-roll. So he's a kid that's going to grow into his body. He loves the game, which is another basic statement. But not every player loves the game. You got to realize some of these kids are thrust onto the stage because they're just so good. But the ones who truly love basketball are the ones like Kobe, like Duncan, like MJ, the players who carve out 15, 16, 18 years where there's no real discernible drop-off, even when erosion sets into their game. They tweak it and they modify how they play, and it enables them to be great for a long time. They augment their game. So he's a guy, I don't think he would change the bottom line right away, needs a lot around them. Got to fine-tune some stuff. But in terms of just a moldable, I don't want to use the word project, a moldable canvas, there's a lot of colors to like. A lot of swirls of potential greatness.
Final question. You're falling out to Arizona today.
Yeah.
Who do you like in the Super Bowl and why?
I don't like either team. Who do I like to win? I'm leaning toward the Pats. I'm a little worried about this because I don't think Deflategate's going to manifest itself in a way that distracts them from their ultimate goal. But you never know. I mean, that stuff's hard to quantify. In terms of X's and O's and personnel, and just looking at the two teams and really what I've said on the radio all week with Tiki, I'm leaning toward the Patriots. They've found a way to run the ball. Remember, when they started the season, they were 2-2. They got blasted by the Kansas City Chiefs at 41-14. They barely beat the Raiders at home. Derek Carr was moving the football, and then they threw a pick late. So the Pats were very wounded early. But since then, I think they're the best team in football, and I've been saying that for a while. They're the most well-rounded, the most complete, the best coach team. I think I got the Pats in a tight one.
Thanks a lot for your time. Always appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Good seeing you. Thank you. Pleasure.